All right, Aries or Aries crosswatcher, this is going to be a message for us. I sat here for a good 20 minutes writing this out, and I feel pretty clear about it. So for whoever this message is going to be for, get ready. It's going to be just a lot of talking, probably. I mean, obviously that's what I do. I talk, but it's a lot. Look how much I wrote down. It's a lot, but the message is very simple. Even though what this is doesn't feel simple, it's got somebody kind of stuck here. Some of you, it's you. Some of you, it's a cross watcher. Some of you, it's a person connected to you, and this person feels kind of stuck right now. But whoever is like stuck knows they are, like, they're not actually. They know that they're not actually. They know that it just takes them doing this, whatever it is, that will snap them right out of it, so to speak. But basically, you're being called to jump. Do it. Just do it. Now, of course, use your discernment. Do what you feel called to do and nothing else. Don't go by what I say. Only go off of how you feel and your intuition, your gut. But man or woman, whoever you are, Aries are not watching me, you're being called to jump. And before I get into this reminds me, which I've talked about before a couple different times, but of when I was younger, and I had the wise idea to do a lot of stupid things, but one of the things was to bungee jump. I was like, oh, bungee jumping, yeah, like anything that could risk my life, call me there. Just, yeah, you don't even have to talk me into it. I'll just think of it on my own. I'll do it. Yeah, absolutely. So I go to bungee jump, right? I get all the way up there and I'm scared shitless. I'm like, I'm not going to go. I don't want to do this. But, you know, it's a real far way down and I was already strapped in. And I'm telling you right now, like, I did not want to go. I did not want to do it. And even when I think about it, even when I think about like swimming with sharks, but definitely the bungee jumping, I would take swimming with sharks any day again over bungee jumping like that. I wouldn't do it again. I would never do it again. It was an awful experience, but I did it. And I didn't do it willingly, not once I got up there. Anyway, long story short, I had to fucking do it. Once I got up there and I was strapped in, they were like, you gotta go. You're gonna have to jump. You're just gonna have to jump. Most frightening thing I've done in my life. Some of you could be doing something that's rather frightening. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but there could be something here that you are really wanting to take the step towards, and it could be frightening. Some of you, it's loving again. Some of you, it's going back to school. Some of you, it's getting a divorce. Some of you, it's moving. Some of you, it's career path, a complete change of career path. It's a change. Yeah, it's a change. And you're wanting to make the right decision. So let's get into it. Some of you have already done this. Oh, by the way, you're going to hear people outside. I don't know what's going on. That seems like I don't know what the hell. You're going to hear a lot of like construction work or whatever. And I think that that's relevant. I think it has something to do with us. Like, we've done a lot of work on ourselves, or some of you are doing construction on your life, or your life was recently revamped in some way, or you're wanting to revamp your life. And it's just a lot, you know what I mean? But it is. It's a lot. It's not an easy decision. It's a lot. So here we go. Many of you are currently in the process of working on completing something. A lot of you, it's completing a decision you're making, or that you know you need to make, you're ready to make, your soul is calling for you to do this, but there's just a lot. I don't know what else to say. Whatever this is has been taking some time. How long will be different for everyone, but it feels like something you'd rather have already be actualized. This is something that you'd almost wish somebody else could do it for you and you didn't have to do it and you could just wake up and it be the new, you know, it be the reality and not have to like go through the fucking transition process. It's almost like I wish the baby could be here without me having to push it out, you know, or go through a cesarean. Like, I wish the baby would just be here already. That's kind of how it feels like. But that's just not reality, and we know that. This isn't somebody who's like unrealistic. You, cross-watcher, anybody, this isn't someone who's being unrealistic, like, oh, I just want life to be blah, blah, blah. No, you're just tired. Tell me you're not. You're tired. Once you reach this point in your life where you get to this stage, you're tired. You're exhausted because you've worked really hard to be at whatever situation you find yourself in right now. And there's good things about it and not good things about it. Or some of you, it could be a situation that's not good at all at this point and you're ready to get out, but there's still things, you know. Either way, it just is some shit, right? It's some shit. And I know it is because one, I totally forgot to tell you that I had this tape on my shoulders, and I did plan to talk about it, but I didn't write it down, so I would have forgotten. The only reason I'm remembering it right now is because I'm hurting again. Like, not in my shoulders, but my back is hurting again. It's probably my PMS, but you know, I just feel really uncomfortable. This is an uncomfortable transition. It's an uncomfortable change that you're needing to make, that you are already in the process of. Whatever it is, it's uncomfortable, or it will be. You know it's going to be. Some of you, it's not your first rodeo. Of course it's going to be uncomfortable. You've been there, done that type thing, done it before. Some of you, it's like almost like how. But either way, you're not at the point where you don't know it needs to be done. I know that you know it needs to be done. It needs to be over with. You need to be out of there. You need to be past this, through this, done with this, over this, onto something new. You already know that. It's just a matter of, God. It's like me being at the top of that bungee thing. Like, I knew I had to jump, but I didn't fucking want to. I wish I could just already have, like, been over with it. You know? You're just, you know. Life. It's life. And life can be exhausting. And anyone who thinks that it can't is probably not wanting to face reality. But I get that. Yeah. It's part of the process, you know. It's not that we all have to go necessarily through excruciating pain to be transformed, but we do have to go through levels of difficulty at least, and that's saying it nicely. But a lot of times we transform the most, a lot of times, not always, we do transform the most through great challenge and difficulty and even pain and suffering. Yes, we don't have to, but I mean, if you even just research the hero's journey, it's in there several times. It's part of the cycle. So, but it doesn't make it easier. It just, you know. So anyway, it's going to depend on how long you've been dealing with something. That's going to differ from person to person. Some of you, it'll be a year. Some of you, several years. But either way, it's okay for you to feel like this. It's okay. You're not alone. Everybody experiences this at some point in time. Even if you're really fucking over something, it still doesn't make the transition out of it easy. Because there's factors. There's other factors. You know what I mean? So, totally get it. This could be, though, something as simple as finishing your housework or packing all the way to finalizing a divorce or a chapter in your life, like a complete-ass chapter in your life, or like leaving a career path, or maybe not the path itself, but a specific place to start over here. It can be difficult. I don't think it's as simple as finishing your housework. I don't. It can be. I'm going to throw it out there, but I don't think it is. This is a big deal. Because otherwise, you know, this is interesting too, because it's not a regular energy for us. Usually we just say, fuck it. But for some, I think we're just tired. That's the only explanation. Because, you know, I'm an Aries as well, even though you don't have to be an Aries watching this. But I think everyone can feel like that, where you just get exhausted of trying, like maybe starting over constantly. And I knew there was a reason I did that short. I did a shorts video on here like months ago where I said late starts and start overs are okay. Because a lot of times we get older and we think, oh my God, like I don't want to be behind. I don't want to have to do this. And then we don't want to have to take like a loss. But you know that saying, your old life, it's very like, would you call it cliche? But you know, your new life will cost you your old. Yeah, and I just heard that again recently. Your new life will cost you your old. By Brianna Weist. Yeah. That's who says it. At least that's what it says here. Brianna Weiss says that your new life is going to cost you your old. That's it. It's like the sacrifice we're going to have to make. That's what sucks. It's not that we're like necessarily scared to take the steps. If anything, we're starters. We're cool with shit like that. Like whatever, fuck it, right? I mean, a lot of us, our favorite words are fuck, and fuck it, and fuck shit damn hell. Just fuck. But for something about this, I think you're just like, Some of you could even be a little hard on yourself. I don't know if you're verbalizing this, and I didn't write this down, but I'm feeling it, and I relate. Where you can be hard on yourself at times, like, why did I, like, you almost want to, like, if you could just turn around and spank yourself, you would. Throw yourself over your own ass knee and beat the shit out of yourself. Where's the fucking yardstick when we need one? You know, back in the day, we used to have to go pick out our own sticks. They called them hoorah sticks. Out in the South, you know, you go pick out your own stick. Your granny make you go outside, pick out your own damn stick to whoop your ass with, you know? Get our mouths washed out with soap and shit. Some of you just want to do it to yourself. You're like that movie, what is that, the Da Vinci Code, where he's like beating himself? Don't do that, guys. Don't do anything like that. I'm not suggesting hurting your, what I'm saying is you may feel like that internally, because you're like, what the fuck, man? I would say you've learned your lessons. Like, you're not going to repeat this again, whatever this is. That's why I don't think it's housework. You're not going to repeat this again. This almost like mess that you know you're in and you're going to have to get out of in whatever way. Because it's going to feel like fucking annoying. But you are aware of all of it. Like, you're aware of what got you here. You're aware of all of it. It's just like, God. Like, can we, you're like talking to yourself, can we stop doing, can we, you know, because I really don't want to have to go through this again. Not to this degree. Can we just, because I'm tired of having to start over in this way and constantly and all the, I'm getting a little weary. It's making me age way before my time, okay? Are we done? Okay. All right, self. Now I'm going to need you to sit all the fucking way down and let me take over. It's like your higher self's taking over. But listen, I guess we had to go through whatever this is for all of us individually. We had to, right? Because we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have the wits about us and the intelligence that we have in whatever area this is. We wouldn't have learned this lesson had we not gone through that portal, if you will, and took that risk that ended up ultimately getting us to where we're like, what the fuck are you thinking? You know, what were you thinking? Or, oh my God, here we are again. Or, you know, just, we don't want to repeat this again. Anyway, so yeah, whatever this is, however important it is to you, which I think it's very important, it's something we have to do, and we know we do. At some point, we're going to have to do this. That's why I said you may want to jump. We need to just jump. I think you're ready to see it to completion. Some of you are actively working on this, whether it's just you're actively brainstorming or you're actively like looking things up on the computer, you're actively getting things together for this, or you just know it's coming, like you're preparing yourself mentally, emotionally for it. Some of you, it could be the ending of something, if you know what I'm saying. And, you know, it's not something, but whatever. You're just almost like you're suiting up for it. Armor is big here, like maybe even something to do with Under Armour or shields, but you are preparing yourself for this, and it's do you ever feel like, what the fuck is all of this for? Like, whatever it is that you're wanting to complete, or you are in the process of completing, or knowing that you're going to have to complete and be done with, you're gonna have to walk through the threshold. Do you ever feel like, what the fuck was all that for? I mean, I understand, yes, I learned the lessons, but for what? To just leave it all at the end of the day? Like, could I have gone about it a different way? Is there a fucking detour? Are there any cheat codes to this life? Because what the fuck? Here we go with the fuck again. I spit. What the fuck? God. Ugh. I get it. Yeah, and some of you this isn't going to resonate. That's fine. It could be for somebody connected to you. Along the way, while you've been working on finishing what this is, or being done with whatever this is, or completing whatever, you may find that you start to lack motivation or inspiration, and that goes along with the whole feeling just exhausted with this, really this life, just aspects of it, and the whole fucking human condition. Like, what the hell? It's okay. You know, it's okay to feel that, right? It's okay. It's okay to ask questions. It's a good thing, instead of just believing, because, you know, it's a good thing that we're like, what is this shit? And contemplate shit. This is where people write some of their best work. Like, think of, what's his name? I just posted about him the other day, a song in my community tab. Leonard. He's a Virgo. That's why it's called like the wise old owl. You know, but anyway, Leonard, I don't know why I'm not thinking of the rest of his name. you know, his writings and his music and just the way he sees things, I'm like, I totally get. That's a person who's been through some shit. That's a person who, and then, you know, you come out on the other side and you're like, God. You just look back and you're like, all right, I've gained all of this vision. Now I can see things I didn't see before. But for what? I mean, it's just kind of a funny little life, isn't it? For what? At the end of the day, just because we leave it. So, do we get to take it with us in the afterlife? I mean, can we worry about that shit? We can. But it might be a waste of our time. So, like, it's okay to stop on that for a minute, but we got to keep going at some point because you don't want to get into where you're, like, a deep kind of, like, I mean, you can, but I don't think you want to. It's just not a real fun place to be. It can be rather depressing and dark. It's okay to be in that for a minute. Just, I wouldn't stay in that. Now, I'm not saying any of you feel like that, but you might feel a bit cynical at times, like very bitter or very angry or like pointless even. Like, what is all of this for? Or what was all this for? I just did all this to fucking, for what? You may feel angry, you know. I don't know why I want to say this. See, you don't have to believe in Jesus, but I'm just saying it's coming to me like, can you imagine? I wonder if Jesus felt like that. Like, what the fuck was all this for? Why did I come here to do all these things just to have this happen? Wow. I don't know. I don't have any answers. I'm just delivering a message. I'm with you. I'm trying to figure this shit out too. I mean, I don't think there is any figuring it the fuck out. I think we just have to keep moving. Otherwise, I mean, imagine, like we've talked about before, imagine water just sitting still. Think about if you have a pet, think about your pet's dishes, their water bowls. You have to eventually empty that water. I mean, yeah, they'll clean the water bowl, but sometimes they don't. You got to change it every day if they don't drink it all every day. And then eventually you got to wash it out. You got to clean it because it builds up. You know, if we just stagnate and we quit taking our risks and we quit being our natural self, I mean, it's who we are at the core. We stop growing. And then I understand where you may be like, well, yeah, we may be growing, but for what? For it all to end at the end of the day? Like, I get that. Again, I don't have the answers. I'm just delivering the message. I have the same questions you do. Shit. I do. So, yeah, you may have moments where you feel burnt out or disinterested, or you even have to pause. You could lose, too. I'm telling you, straight up what she says, Brianna Weiss, your new life is going to cost you your old. It absolutely is. I've talked about this before. You'll lose a lot more. You'll have more losses than you do your gains, but the gains are going to be massive. But they come along with it. Just like you'll have your supporters, you'll have your people who are like not supporting it. It's just part of it. It's part of being fucking here. It's a very confusing little existence, isn't it? It's like we're stuck on a fucking ride that we can't get off of until we do. And it's like, why did I even get on this ride? Did somebody put me on this ride or did I have a choice? Because if I had a choice, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm starting to question my sanity here. You know, why did I? Anyway, I don't think we chose to came here. I don't think we chose to come to Earth and experience the human condition. But I'm not opposed to anybody else's view. A lot of people do believe that we chose our place here, like we chose to come to Earth because we had certain karmic lessons. I just don't believe that, respectfully. So I've talked about that, and because I can't. I mean, think of children. Do you think they come here and they choose to be raped? Not even children, adults. Do you think people come here and they're like, you know what, I think I want to come here and I want to be abused. I think I want to come to that life and I want to have this happen to me and this happen. That's fucked up to think about, actually. That's what I think about. I'm like, I try to get on board, and I used to think the other way, and then I started going down a rabbit hole, and I'm like, wait a second. No, there's no way. Who would fucking choose that? You don't think we would all choose? You think people who aren't hurting right now and starving and unable to barely survive wouldn't change their reality? I mean, I understand we have certain lessons, but like maybe we're placed here to learn them. I don't know if we chose it, but it's possible. Listen, I believe anything's possible. So, and I've been wrong a lot. So maybe I'm wrong. Either way, I don't think we'll ever answer that question. That's a matter of perspective. So Who fucking knows why we're here and why we keep repeating these lessons, or why we're not repeating the lessons, but why we choose certain things and we learn these awful fucking things just to graduate them and then learn another awful fucking life. Like, it's just, what the hell? But, you know, whatever. It's not all bad. This isn't a doom and gloom or whatever message. This is a message of power and strength. You think I didn't feel stronger once I got down on the ground after bungee jumping? Yeah, I was like, damn, I just did that shit. But for what, though, is what I wanted to know. I had no answers, and I still don't. Yeah, I did it. It's something I can say I did. For what? Clout? For people to be like, oh, she bungee jumped. She swam with sharks. She took frog poison. She did this. And for what? I would have much rather not have said that I was an alcoholic than to be an alcoholic. But I don't know. I can say that, but I have all these lessons now. So I guess it's for us to try not to be so fucking negative. But that's hard. And it's okay to be fucking negative at times, you know? What are you supposed to not have emotions? Shit. Hell yeah, I'm negative about it at times. Fuck yeah. Sometimes I want to slap the shit out of myself and be like, bitch. I do think, however, you've wanted to be very careful about your next steps, yes, and make sure everything is in order or aligned. You're just being careful. That's it. Okay? You just try not to go crazy at the end of all of it. Not that we aren't already, but you know, we're all nuts. If anyone thinks they're not nuts, they're nuts. We're all nuts. That's what, I mean, I don't know what else the human condition is. It's pretty fucking nuts to be here. It's nuts. It's crazy. Basically, you don't want to make a huge mistake, and you're not ignorant to that fact. You're well aware that things may need to be done in a certain way here, but maybe they don't, though. Sometimes there is no certain way. Sometimes the way is uncertain. That's the way. Sometimes it isn't clear. Sometimes we don't know. And if anybody's great at doing that, guys, it's us. But you don't have to be an Aries watching this. But if anybody's great at doing that, we're made for it. We're made for the risks. We're made for the war. We're created from it. I mean, we're ruled by Mars. Passion. We're just going in circles where we currently are right now, even if we don't feel like we are, because we're kind of comfortable, or, you know, we thought we were, but we don't really know what's going to lie on the other side of that risk. We don't know. Maybe it's going to be something awful. I think it'll be both, to be real with you. And that's just from my experience in life. Usually you don't have one without the other. You know what I mean? Really. I say we do it, whatever it is, if you feel called. Again, only use your discernment, only listen to yourself. You know you best. But for me, personally, I feel like I'm going to have to fucking just do it. You know, if I fall, I fall. Okay. Maybe down there I'll find a little, I don't know, a little cricket. And the cricket will be down there, and me and the little cricket will be friends. And that cricket will teach me something wise. I'm hearing Jiminy Cricket. Oh, I heard a saying. My mom was watching this movie yesterday, and I heard this. Oh, come on. Oh my God, it was something about... Oh my God, what was the saying? Something about the teacher and the student. Hold on, I'm gonna have to find this. Well, fuck it. I'm not gonna get off track. I don't think it's getting off track, but there's a reason I can't. It's not like readily available for me right now. So there's some sort of wise information that you've come across, whether it's by your own accord, by lessons you've learned, or like by hearing it from someone else, whatever it is. And it will come to you just at the right time. Maybe several somethings. And anyway, when we get off here, I'll try to remember and I'll put it down in the comments, the saying I heard. It was, and I knew it was no mistake. It's like I got to her house and she was watching this movie, and I was busy as this movie was playing. She was cooking dinner. I had to get my grandma out of bed. I had to give her a shower. I had to feed my grandma. But at one point, I happened to be sitting very still with the heating pad on, TMI, but you know, and I caught this phrase that this guy was saying, and I was like, That's big. That's big. And I'll find it again, don't you worry. Anyway, so yeah, but what I was saying is basically a lot of times I've noticed when I take whatever risk it is, there are good things that come out of it, and there are awful fucking things. I mean, it's like both, man. You know, it's like salt and pepper, really. Like salt is too fucking much, and pepper is too fucking much. But together, it's a nice little blend. You know, yin yang. You kind of need both. It just adds a little something extra. So, you're just tired of the fucking something extra. You're like, can't we just have it be good for a minute? Just real fucking good. Just real good. Only good, right? Just real good. Like you made the whole fucking cake and it's delicious, but that sugar content, though, in our health. You know what I mean? Damn. I highly suggest that you guys don't look into nihilism. It's something I was reading about, and I was like, this is very interesting. I'm very interested in nihilism, but I just choose not to read about it anymore because I agree with a lot of it, and it to a depressing degree. And so I'm like, I can't get into this, but I totally understand where Friedrich Nietzsche was coming from. I was like, oh my God. And he was our opposite. I believe he was a Libra. Anyway, see, I'm getting off topic, but not really though. Something to do with Hot Topic. I'm hearing Hot Topic. Some of you may actually need to move. I got that strongly. You may actually need to move, whether you hate where you live or you whatever it is. It's your environment, whether it's actually where you live at, the place, whom you live with or whom lives with you, or the area or something like that. To get your inspiration. Some of you, it's not where you live. It's your work situation, unless you work from home. But where you work, you may need to move your office, your building, your business. You may need to move it. Somebody needs to move something. Or it could be our body, get to moving, like working out. Some of you have been wanting to work out. And you're like, you know, I need to start working out. Yes, this would be a yes, yes, yes. Whatever it is that you're like, I know I need to and I want to. This is a yes. This is highly advised. Not for me. It was like an intuitive nudge to say, we need to get moving. Get a move on it. Yeah. So it's like, that's what we are being called to do. And it's a nudge. We've been feeling it. Get a move on something. Physically, a place we're living, a place we're working, our body, physical, our health, or a move on from a situation that is no longer good for us. Get a move on paperwork, get a move on something, get a move on making that, get a move on it. That's it. I mean, eventually I had to jump, you know? I had to move. Though my little ass did not want to. And I would have been very happy going back down and not having to say this today. Yeah, I bungee jump for what? For people to clap for me? Like, I'm not proud of myself for that. Like, what did it accomplish? What did it prove? Nothing. Nothing at all. Now, I don't regret combo and the shark thing, but that I do. For what? I don't know. Anyways, see? Yeah. It's okay to be angry with yourself. It's okay to be mad at yourself at times, you know? I could have done without certain relationships and certain things. I could have done without a whole lot of things. Yeah. So, there is a tone here of your self-confidence and seeing the bigger picture. Forward focus more so than current focus or backward focus. This is supposed to be like us kind of having our eyes on the prize in a way and just kind of like going for it. Like if a building was on fire, and some of you may see fire in the near future or something like a spark or fire. If a building was on fire and our normal self, before all the trauma, I hear people talking, before all the trauma or whatever, the shit, the experiences, the decisions, you can call them mistakes, whatever you want to call them. We would have just go right through the fucking door. Let's say the whole house is on fire and there's a window and then there's a door. I've used this analogy before. We're going to go through that fucking door. Even if we get a little burnt, we're going to go through the door because the door's right fucking there. I'm not going to try to open the window. What if it don't open? What if the glass breaks and I'm just going to go through the fucking door. But right now we're in a state where we're like, oh God. We know we're still going to go through the fucking door because that's who we are at the core. But we're going to close our eyes and go through the door this time. We're just like, ah! And we're just going to charge through that motherfucker because we know that's the way we're going to go. But fuck. You know? Whatever any of this is, because it will be different for everybody, you have several ways you can go about everything whilst you anticipate the completion of this current place that you're in your life, or whatever place it is that you find yourself at. So there's a lot of ways you can go about it. We could go out the window. We could army crawl through the door. There's so many ways you could do it. But either way, you know you're going to do it. You want to do it. You know that you have to. Some of you are already in the process of it, but it's just like, God. Fuck. Yeah. You're considering the risks, the rewards, things like that, and that's fine as well. It's okay, but we can't stay there, you know? Your whole message to me has an undertone of, should we just go for it? Should we just do it? Yeah. Again, discernment, but yeah. Do I think that some of us will? No. We're going to be stubborn about it. We will. Yeah, some of us are going to be stubborn about it. We already have been. Some of you, this nudge has been coming for a while, but because either we're like, I'm hearing like habitual, like we're stuck. We're in a habit space, like we're stuck. It's like routine. This is what we're comfortable in. Even if it's an uncomfortable situation, we're comfortable with the discomfort because it's something we identify with now. We're used to it. But that doesn't mean it's good for us. And we like growth, we do. But we also know what comes with it, and we're just fucking tired, man. You know, I can repeat it till I'm blue in the face. We're tired. So yeah, in some cases, you may cause a temporary, this may cause a temporary loss of some type, which we talked about, but I think that you're almost going to have to lose to gain, again, the old life for the new. You may not lose all of it, or whatever it is you're losing, but you will have to take some loss. Yes, again. It's okay to wonder if you're going to get fucked over. I mean, you're already fucking yourself over, though, or you're being fucked over. I mean, it's really, I feel like you deserve a lot more than you're getting, whatever it is, you know? You do. But it's just a lot. So, change can be a bitch. Either way, I think you're going to need to do it. Whatever this is, use your discernment. I've said that several times, but I wrote it again, so we're going to read it. Use your discernment, of course, but it almost feels like whatever you're losing isn't making you happy anyway. Maybe in some ways for some of you, but you feel very unfulfilled. Or fucking miserable. You know, you might feel miserable. I think that you want something more. I think you want something much, much more than what you're getting right now, especially emotionally fulfilling. You want to be emotionally fulfilled, and you're not right now. You're just not. In some area, you're not, and you know you're not. But whatever it is seems to be stifling you. Even at the times that something may seem good, it's stifling you because you're ready for more, and you know you are. Are you ready for something else, something different, a change? Weary comes to mind, the word weary. If you're concerned you won't have support and that you're just going to be completely fucked, I don't think that you will. It's, you know, you'll always have a little bit of something, a little bit of good with the bad, a little bit of light with the dark. Like, you always will. You know what I'm saying? So, no, you will. And that I do know. Even if it feels like we don't, we do. You will have support, and you'll also have people who don't. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, you will have support. You already do. I feel like you already do. Some of you have great support in this decision. Like, people may wonder why you haven't done it already, you know? Like, you deserve more. Have you ever worked at a place? This is coming to mind. I've had this happen to me at different places. And like a customer comes in and they kind of whisper to you at a time when they don't see anyone else around you. And they're like, is there a reason that you're here? Like, you should be in your own place or your own spot, or you should own your own business, or you should be at a different place that's going to pay you more. Or you should be somewhere else. Like, I see you somewhere else. Like, you know, and we almost discredit these people. Like, I mean, it plants a seed, but we stay. We don't really listen. But we wonder, like, why did they say that? And almost like, we might even get offended a little bit. But some of us, we don't. You know, it plants a seed. Do you think those people came in there for no reason, or that they crossed your path for no reason? I mean, they were sent there for a reason. We don't even know these people from anywhere, and they're just telling us that. You know, I had a lady do it when I worked. Well, I won't say where I worked, but I had a woman do it. And then she prayed for me. I'm not going to ever turn down anybody who wants to pray for me. Absolutely. I've had nurses pray for me. I've had strangers pray for me. That, can I pray for you? Can I pray over you? Can I pray on you? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I don't care what anybody says about that. People can say they don't like it, whatever. This is my life, my body. It's me. I am all for prayer. I believe in prayer. I love prayer. So anyway, I was like, absolutely. So anyway, I ended up leaving the job and was happier. I didn't listen to her right away, though. It took me like several months. But you think that seed she planted ever went anywhere? No, it's still there. It's still growing. I almost feel like she's telling me it right now with something else. You know what I'm saying? She was like a little angel. I've met several of those. Meant to cross my path that she didn't have to tell me nothing like that. She's like, you are worth more than this. You deserve more. You could really be supporting yourself very well right now. You have a lot to offer. You shit like that. That's kind of, so basically I'm that person to you right now telling you that, like, there actually is more. It's not gonna be perfect for you. No. No. But there's new inspiration there, new treasure to be found, and new self-discovery. Right now, you're like in a cul-de-sac. You're in a dead end. Yes, there's always, you know, whatever, but your heart is calling for something else, a different place, different scenery, new faces, new places, you know. This message is about you. What do you want to do? I think the risk here is to not take the risk. Or I genuinely do. And some of you, it's going to be several risks you're going to have to take. It's not just one, which makes it even more hectic. But, like, you may be thinking of one, and you're like, I can't do this. I can't even take this risk without having this. But you may be overlooking a risk you can take before taking this risk. You see what I'm saying? So maybe we can ask for more discernment of, well, okay, fine, I'll take the risk, but I can't because there's like some sort of roadblock in my way. Like maybe it's finances, and that's what's keeping us from being able to just take that risk. Like we would just do it, then we would, but we don't have the luxury of doing that. Well, there's other risks we can take to get to that risk. Okay? Or maybe even sacrifice in some way. So I feel like you're being called to jump. That's the message. Thank you guys for being here with me. And I will talk to you later. Bye.